Good day and God bless everyone. This is Queen Lindy Bitacora, taking Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English, a second-year student. So, in this video, I am going to share my own thoughts, my insights or realizations regarding these three lessons. So, we have here the lesson 1, 2, and 3. So, this video is a course requirement in LIT1 or also known as children or adolescent literature. So, let's proceed. So we have here the lesson 1, which is entitled The Place of Literature in Child's Life. So here are some of my insights and realizations. Most schools acknowledge that children require some enjoyable literary experiences that allow them to return to books and reflect more thoroughly on the characters, themes, and other literary components. As a result, the reader is considered as a collaborator in the creation of meaning with the author. So we already know that literature has become part of the curriculum in the educational system. So majority of the people, or most of us, is our first serious encounter of literature is from school. We cannot deny that. And through this exposure to this literature, we have here the manuscripts, speeches, fables, stories, and among others. So through this exposure, especially the child, he will be able to have a leisure time or pleasurable experiences with it with the help or with the guide of a teacher. Through this exposure to such literature, it would help the students, or shall we say the children, to develop this ability to sense the themes or messages which open up them to a new way of thinking. It would also help the child or the children to generate a bridge for them to learn new things. So let's proceed. Okay, we have here the second one. History is not only a gateway to the past, it's also suggestive of our present and the future. Within every time period lies different people, and within them, different stages in our ever-growing culture. Literature can help a child to step back from the past and learn about the life on earth from the ones who walked before us, in which children can gather a better understanding of the different cultures or traditions that exist and have a better or greater understanding and appreciation of them. And now let's proceed with the third one. So we have here, literature acts as a form of expression for each individual author. They serve as the mirror of society and allow us to better understand the world we live in. So, as what we can observe from the different literature or the masterpieces that we can read about a literature, so we can observe that the authors has different styles or techniques in making their own piece, in making their art of writing. So through it, we will be able to learn from them on how they express things. So by just reading their outputs, we will be able to learn what they have in mind and what are their feelings or their insights about life. This literature would also help us to understand the reality of life, which may reflect to what's happening nowadays, the modern issues or conflicts. Shall we say, we have the human conflicts. So this would help us to better understand the daily living that we have in this world. So they serve as a mirror of society because they can reflect from their writings. We're able to empathize and understood on what they have written. And the next one. Literature can stimulate child's eagerness to discover more. At the same time, it can help to build and develop vocabulary that will help the child to express himself or herself. So next, the last one in the lesson one. So literature is a reflection of humanity and a way for us to understand each other, develop sensitivity to insights, sounds, words, life problems, and people. So literature does not end there that we can get a moral lesson from it, but it will help us to shape from who we are. So by just listening to the people while uttering his words, we are able to learn from them on what he thinks. So this may also, literature is essential on how the way communicate or relate with the other people. So let's proceed with the second lesson, which is entitled Children's Reading Interest. So, child's interests serve as a motivating force that stimulates the individual to participate in a particular activity. So, we already know that child, or most of the child, they have this curiosity. So, they are more eagerness to learn or to discover and explore things. So, this child's interest may serve as his driving force to learn more. His motivation to learn more or to discover more about in the school. Especially also the teacher has this rule to guide the children very well. In which a child may also, this child's interest would help the student to become more active and participative inside the classroom. So the next one, in order to achieve positive results in the child through literature, it is required to know the child deeply, his interests, capacities, weaknesses, needs, and aspirations. So why is this so important? So you as a teacher, you should you should know your students well, their profile. You should know their strength, their weaknesses, and capacities, especially their needs and aspirations. You should target all of these factors because it would help them to drive their interest to learn and to read more. Next, so the strong foundation of a child's learning interest lies on child's necessities in terms of physical, mental, emotional, social, moral, spiritual, aesthetic, economic, and recreational. So you as a teacher, you should focus on all of these aspects of a child in order to trigger his willingness, his eagerness, or his interest to learn more about literature. So the next one. Teachers, as facilitators of learning, should possess the important qualities in order to become a role model to the children all throughout the teaching and learning process. So you should possess these qualities such as being courageous, patient in terms of dealing with your children or your pupils in order to guide them to an ultimate learning and teaching process in order to guide them very well. So we have here, every child is unique, so his needs and interests and reading ability should be fully understood to serve as guide in helping him select his reading materials. So next, so the last lesson, which is entitled Selecting Books for Children. So this is also essential for a child. So here are my insights and realizations in lesson 3. A deep grasp of children's needs, interests, and talents is required for good book selection, as in an equal understanding of the field of children's literature. So you as a teacher, as you know your students or children well, or your pupils well, you have also to choose the books that are simple to understand. You should choose the books that best suits to their level of learning, their level of understanding, that can easily captures their attention in order for them to understand and wanting to learn more about your purpose as a teacher or the topic that you will impose to them inside the classroom. And the next one, the teacher must cultivate and nurture a love of reading and a taste for good books rather than leaving it to chance. So you as a teacher, it's up to you. Their learning, their eagerness to learn is maybe because of you. So you should be this appealing to them. You should be friendly, approachable. You should build this rapport between your among your students. So you as a teacher, you need to capture their attention in order for you to make them believe you, make them listen to you, and to learn more from you. So you should take it as a chance for you to guide them well for their learning inside the classroom. And the last one, a teacher must not only know a variety of books in many fields, their virtues and limitations, but he must also know the children for whom they are intended, their interests and needs. So this is the most essential, that the teacher should target the child's interest and needs. Because if these interests are or needs are not met by the child, so the strong foundations of a child's learning may be weakened, or there will be some inconsistencies when he grows up. So you as a teacher, you have as a facilitator of knowledge or learning, you should guide your students very well. You should give your best that you can be in order to guide them all throughout the learning on teaching process. And that would be all. Thank you so much, and God bless us all.